Hey everybody, it's Mr. Haas, and I'm super excited to talk to you about your STEM project that you're going to be working on for the next 2 weeks. So, the STEM project is called the Ecological Design Challenge. So, what it's based around three ecological challenges or problems that we currently face, and they're ones that we either have some control over or that we could possibly help make changes to. So, what I first want to make sure you understand is what it means by ecological. So, I know in fifth grade we learn about ecosystems. In fourth grade, at some point this year, you should learn, or maybe have already learned, about habitats and where animals live and with plants and other organisms. So, that's kind of where we're going with the ecological. Ecological meaning having to deal with animals and plants and their habitat, okay, the ecosystem. So, an ecological problem is a problem that usually is man made, and it's something that we cause to happen that kind of messes up or changes an ecosystem. So, the three big ecological challenges that you're going to have a choice of, or the ecological problems that you're going to have a choice to address, are the following. So the first one is or has to do with animals being hit by cars as they cross the road. So as people and humans make more roads and there's more cars, we have more of a chance of running or hitting animals that are trying to cross the road. And they were here. Their ecosystem is everywhere. And then we put a road through the middle of where they have to go, and they end up having to cross the road to look for food or shelter or more space, and then they sometimes get hit by cars. And it happens a lot. So that's our first challenge. So you might choose this one, in which you are going to create some sort of structure that will allow animals to safely get from one side of a road to the other without stopping the flow of traffic. So you can't just put like a stop sign or something like that where the people have to stop for animals to cross. You have to build something that will allow animals to cross over as well as cars to continue to drive on the road. So that's your first option. Your second option, or the second ecological problem, is cities. And we don't think of cities being a problem, but when we have cities, we mostly make them out of concrete and asphalt and brick and glass. And what happens is the temperature of a city is actually warmer than the surrounding areas because most cities don't have a lot of trees or greenery or plants. And another problem is flooding because when the water hits the ground, it hits the concrete and just runs off of it and can create flooding. So the second option is to create what we call green buildings, buildings that are built in such a way that they actually have space for plants and trees and animals to be able to grow and live on them, to create a cooler city because the plants will absorb heat. They don't reflect it as much as concrete and blacktop, but also to help stop or to reduce flooding because the dirt and stuff absorbs the water as opposed to it running off of the concrete. So that is your second option, is to design a green building. The third one has to do with the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. And a lot of people don't know about this, but in the Pacific Ocean, which is the ocean, not the one by North Carolina, but the one on the other side of the country, the big one, there is a huge patch of garbage sitting out in there. It kind of all collects in one spot. And right now it's about the size of Texas. So it's huge. So that's a big problem. So right now scientists are trying to figure out a way to try to get this garbage out of the ocean. And the reason this is a problem is because, number one, a lot of the garbage that's there is plastic. And plastic doesn't really break down much, or it takes a really long time to do so. So it's just kind of sitting there, and then animals end up mistaking the plastic bags for jellyfish, and they eat them and they choke on them and they die. So we're really harming that Pacific ecosystem with this huge garbage patch out there, and it's our fault. We throw a plastic bottle out the window, or it falls out of a truck, and then it gets washed into a river. The river then ends up in the ocean, and then the garbage gets into that one spot, that Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and it's not good for for that ecosystem. So your third choice is to come up with some sort of craft that can go through the Great Pacific Garbage Patch and would be able to pick up the garbage easily and effectively and quickly. So those are your three challenges. As you continue on through this module, you're going to do a little more exploring about these. There's some videos about each one. They'll give you some ideas. So you do have to choose one of them. Don't do all three, but choose one of them that you're going to do. Get as much research and information about that one as you can, and then begin to design and build your structure, your craft, your building, whatever it is, depending on which one you pick. But I want you to start designing your solution to that problem. And this is what real-world STEM is about. It's about acknowledging a problem and then engineering a way that could help to fix it. And this is why I asked you to get all those recycled materials, because you are going to build your structure and your craft or whatever it is out of those materials. Okay, and again, if you don't have any of those materials or you had a hard time finding them, just contact me, shoot me an email, and we will see what we can do. I have a ton here. You would just have to get away to just stop by school and pick it up. I can put it in a bag for you. Just let me know. All right? So I'd rather you do that than not do it at all because you don't have the supplies. But again, remember, just look in the recycling bin at home. When you finish some of the cereal boxes, you should be able to get some of those supplies. All right? I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with. It's going to be challenging, but that's the whole point of STEM, is to challenge you. So don't give up. Keep trying, and let's see what you guys can come up with. Have a great day.